At Get Haunted and Get Haunted Midwest, we don't just put on events, we give you an experience. Grab the gear, master the methods, use the tools the professionals use to bridge the gap. From the Estes method to traditional seances, you aren't just watching the investigation, you're part of it.
Repeat peanut butter.
Capture the evidence, hear the voices, experience the history firsthand. Every event is structured so you rotate through the most active spots, learning from the best. The spirits are waiting. Secure your tickets now at extremeticketing.com. Ready to join the hunt? Here's where we'll be. Join Get Haunted and Get Haunted Midwest at these historic locations. Tickets for all events are available now at extremeticketing.com. Don't be left in the dark.
Wow, you get me full screen tonight. Control yourselves, people. Well, hopefully you can all hear me. I see about seven whole people in here. I'll say hello to those that have chimed in on the side. I see Stacy Talich, Shift in Perspective. Stephen Kometz, my boy, my man. I see Spirits, one of the best people on the planet. And Mr. Mark Brown, another person that, oh no, man, you're underrated. Another amazing soul right there. I don't know. It's not that anybody rates you. You're just fucking too quiet. And you admit it. There's more. There's probably three more watching. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 3 more, 4 more right now watching. Trevor Faith's in the house. So I wanted to do this live tonight because we're going to talk about some things, because clearly, so Sarah made a post about what some of our plans are, and either the graphic was too much or people can't read, or both. I don't know what it is. So I want to clarify, what's happening, even though I don't really think I need to, but we're going to clarify it real quick. I have had wine. I'm on glass number 2. So another reason to keep this one quick. Let me take another swig real quick. But, let's start with the backstory. That's what, I don't know. It's a scary graphic. I looked at it and I was like, Sarah's here too. She announced herself. She's busy. She can't be here. She got, she has things to do, but she's here watching and supporting. So in 2019, the concept of Get Haunted became a thing, right? And back then, show the graphic. All right, Jesus, people, let's show the graphic. Like, it's like we're in court. Let me get to it. Hold on, kids. Nobody private message me, because it'll pop up on my screen if I share. Actually, here's what I'll do. Hold on. What is happening? Oh, no, that's the wrong page. That's the paranormal podcast program. Also gone. We'll talk about it. Here we go. I got this graphic. I'll read the post after, but let me save this image as Sarah scary graphic. And that's in my pictures folder now, along with 900,000 other images. Let's see. Here we go. Image file. Sarah Scary graphic. So this was the graphic, okay? And this was posted on the Get Haunted Network public page, I think 2 days ago. I don't even remember. Yeah, it had to be 2 days ago. And it's got an awful lot of views, and it did get a few people. This is like no comments. I don't know. That one I'm a little lost on. But there but it did I did get calls and messages. Some people are concerned. Some people think it's because of drama, and it's not. But this is the graphic. So rather, than stare at me, we'll talk about it. So 2019, Get Haunted, the notion came to me. It wasn't quite fully formulated yet, but by 2021, um, and after some nonsense with another group, team, whatever you want to call it. Hey Kent, how are you? I, you know, I sat around. I had tried to get onto teams. I tried to get into it was hard, right? As a solo, you know, explorer, researcher, whatever the hell you moniker you want to use. I wanted to learn about this amazing niche hobby at the time for me. I was already making merch. Okay, so that was the original um, wheelhouse for Get Haunted. It was all around merch. But by 2021, I was frustrated. I had reached out. There were local teams here in PA that I had reached out to, and they were like, "Man, you already got enough people. You don't have enough equipment experience, and you're not a ordained minister or a demonologist, whatever." It was a nightmare, right? And I'm like, "Fucking A, like I will never be able to get on a team and go out there and do this, you know, on the regular." I did start going to some public events. First one I kind of went to on my own back in 2008 was at the Sun Inn right here in Bethlehem. It's a cool ass place. Uh, but I was frustrated, right? And there's an awful lot. I don't care if this offends people, but there's a lot of ego and there's a lot of gatekeeping that happens inside the paranormal. All the way down to like the team level, all right? From there all the way up to the celebrity level. So Get Haunted was the notion, right? And I remember the day I shared the idea with Bill was, I wanted a place. It's back then too, right? I really wasn't quite so philosophical, but I was about to be. We'll get to that. Um, but I wanted a place where, people could kind of sort of like not the LinkedIn of the paranormal, but a place where people could come and ask questions or share thoughts and theories and maybe start working together, because what I noticed was a bunch of different people really working in silos, and it wasn't quite as commercialized as it is today, especially down at the team level. There was, the bigger ghost hunting companies, one of which I worked for. And that's where I first started seeing things that weren't great, right? Okay. There's a dangerous line we walk when we go from hobbyist to a business, right? Trying to make money. And there is money to be made. It can be made. It's just hard, and it's especially hard right now. But that really wasn't the intent, right? So in October of 2021, I just said, fuck it, right? I had sort of taken a break from the paranormal, kicked off Get Haunted officially on Halloween night, to be a little cliche. Hey, Kaylee. And somehow managed to rack up, I think we had like 12 or 13 events coming up in 2022. Then in 2022, I'm sorry, at the end of 2021 on 12/22, I ended up on this podcast that, initially I wasn't a podcast person. I didn't really like being on the air. I still don't love it, but do I look okay tonight, guys? Let me know. But it was Sarah's show. Hey, Adam. Um, it was Sarah's show, and I had pitched this concept to Sarah and Dee Dee, and Bill and Tanya were on the show, and that was it. Like I saw how it landed with Sarah, and she was really the first person that I publicly pitched it to that I didn't really know. Right, Lori was around; she was on board. All these people from the former joint were absolutely ready to go. Hey, Hoot, how are you? And there it was. I'm like, holy cow, like that actually landed with someone. Like, I'm feeling good about this. Um, so off we went, right? And then everybody knows the rest of the story. Tutu came and went. Um, it was a pivotal day for me. And when I say that I wasn't quite so philosophical prior to that, I wasn't. I still had Adam, I'll explain it here. Just the Facebook page. I'm going to get to it. But yeah, there's no need to panic. And what people are panicking over, I'm not quite sure, but we're going to talk about it. But then the big questions came in the deeper conversations, and that was the one element that I just can't provide. Can't do it. It's not who I am. Don't have the time. I don't connect with most people the same way as Sarah does. It's always been a yin yang thing. Sarah's kind of the nicer side, and there's Rob, who's a little mouthy and way better looking. So anyway, so eventually convinced Sarah to come on board, as social media manager, because she reached out. She's like, your social media sucks, and it did. So we had 50, 50, 100, whatever the hell we had, right? And today we're sitting at 7,000, nearly 7,000. So yes, this is rage bait. 7,000 subscribers on this page. And or not whatever page you're watching from, over on the public network public page, right? What's up, Emmaus? Now, and then that went from 100, 200, 500, all of a sudden, where I remember being like geeked that we hit 1,000, then we hit 2,000, then it was 3, right? And now we're sitting where we're at on the network public page. The whole idea and the concept and the notion that yeah, it was. Yeah, I was sort of the Paranormally Blonde pre-show comedic. Oh, we're staying, Adam. Please, you got to listen here, because this is, I think this is where the misconceptions come. But Sarah came in and really blew up our internet presence. But the notion about what the network was supposed to be, this dog, has always remained the same. That never changed, right? And none of this is sudden. None of this is because of drama or external influences. I promise you that, because we're not really going anywhere. We're just changing our address. But about 2 weeks ago, I did a poll. Sarah and I, we did a poll. And what we learned was that from the people that took the time to respond, that about 84% of them did not feel safe or comfortable sharing their personal experiences, their theories, their thoughts on the paranormal. 84%. And that was on our page, where you don't see bullshit, right? But I understand it. I do. I mean, all you got to do is look around right now. It's a shit show. It's a dumpster fire. But 84% of the people that responded, which if we extrapolate that could be a lot of people, right? If we take those numbers and apply them to the 7,000, that's sad. It's absolutely sad. We know what's happening in the field. We can see it. A lot of people can see it for what it really is. A lot of people can't, and that's okay too. But I think what's gotten lost in all this, and with some of the messages I've received, or the questions, right, is that Get Haunted always has been and always will be a business. Now, in 20, whatever the fuck it was, 22, I don't remember. When I lost my, 24-year corporate America job, at my age, making the money I made, it made things a little tough. So it's like, all right, what am I going to do? And this was a dream of mine, and this still is a dream of mine. And then I met a person that took my dream, turned it into something, right? There's everybody knows who Get Haunted is. Why, good or bad, doesn't matter. Everybody knows who we are. So the whole notion of this network where people could come together and share and talk, and it's been diluted over the years. And then to learn that, and I'll talk about why in a moment. But then to learn that 84% of you are still afraid, right? That's disheartening. And it's not a symptom of the Get Haunted Network. It's a symptom of our community right now. Um, people are walking away from it. Location owners are selling their shit and getting out. Um, I can't say I blame them, right? It's kind of sad. So to me, and look, prior to even prior to that, for a long, long time, if you remember the paranormal podcast program, where we had a shit ton of shows, I don't remember 20, whatever it was. There too, the only currency that we ever asked for was cross promotion, was the sharing of the share. I've never seen or worked with anybody that has worked quite as hard as Sarah Jane on the side for as many years as she has. I did some math the other day. She's given 8%, nearly 8% of her life to me, to Get Haunted, to all of you. Okay. For fucking free. For free. While trying to keep Paranormally Blonde alive. In case anybody forgets, we have the Get Haunted main page. Okay, we have the Get Haunted Network public page. We have school. We had Instagram. We had TikTok. I'm missing some shit. I don't even remember. We had the paranormal podcast program for a while. I mean, this woman never got a break. The only thing we ever asked for, honest to God, was to share, right? To share. And Rob's a stickler on that. Because we're not a community if we're not working together. And what our network page became, right? And it's a lot of fucking work to try to manage these file extreme ticketing, 6 different pieces, right? And keep everybody happy over there, and then come over to school where people are actually engaged. It's a lot. So we had to do what's called a cost benefit analysis, right? Where are we spending our time? Where are we spending our energy? And none of this shit is free, folks. It's just not. And if you work in corporate America, everyone understands and knows what downsizing is. It's just really, really hard to do. It's really, really hard to maintain all of that with limited resources. We're really a 2-person show. We have amazing people like Lori and Kaylee and Ryan and anybody that's watching that come in and help us out. But there's all the back end work, right? These people have day jobs. And again, I think people forget, for me, this is how I keep the roof over my head. So for Sarah to put all this work in, right? And the conversations used to be much different. They're a little less active now, right? For us to put all this work in, to give you, this whole community a place to come and talk and share, drop your merch, drop your events, drop your equipment, drop all the things that you want to drop, and then you're off onto the next thing, to never see a share back, or I shouldn't say never, to rarely see a share back. It's also disheartening, right? Because we too are trying to survive. And it's not why we're not taking our toys and going home. What we realized is that our efforts in certain places was time, energy, money not well spent when we compare it to the other. So let me Let me put Adam saying, I've always said people out there for money, and there are people like at Helena, for example, that are for the craft versus the money, right? And look, especially, uh, it is sad, but it's also human nature, buddy. Um, and for me, it is a blend, right? And it's really hard to blend those things together. To my detriment, we've been very, very generous with a lot of people. Um, we're very, very kind to a lot of people. And sometimes that comes back to get you. So, and I'm not bitching or complaining, right? It doesn't mean we're going to change who we are. But I think in the end, right? If we had Sarah and I both agree, she is spent. Okay, I am spent. You try to do all this stuff, manage orders, which I fuck up all the time. I'm so far behind on a lot of things. She's trying to keep up with. What do we put on the network, and how do we make that different from what we put on school? Because there's people in school that actually pay for it. Hey, Terry. Um, and then how do we push our events, and how do we push their events, and how do we people? It just becomes a lot. It just becomes a lot. One of the comments I got today was, dude, how can you throw away 7,000 customers? And we're not throwing anything away. Okay. And they're not customers, right? Like, look, if I had 7,000 customers, the money aspect wouldn't be a thing. And then we could hire fucking people to actually do this stuff. We can't. And it's not. So what it's become is sort of a pit stop for people to post their videos. I mean, no offense, Lindsay, Paraquest, whoever you are, like posting 6 of your videos every day is not healthy for our business. So I could pull up right now the Get Haunted Network page, and Terry's here. He can tell you there's hundreds of, pending posts in the queue. So what do we do, right? Do we say, no, fuck you, you're not coming on? But we have our own stuff to promote, so then our stuff gets put up there and then pushed down. So there's no balance. There's absolutely no balance. So to me, in my eyes, let me put Sarah's. Yeah, absolutely. This is exactly what we had set out to do, right? To try to help each other. And I don't even think, in most cases, it's intentional, right? People are on a mission. You go in, you get it done, you move on to the next thing. And if the Get Haunted Network public page was another checkbox for your wares or for your services or whatever, your video, that's all fine and good. But you can go back while this page is still up for another 3 or 4 hours. You can go back months and months and months where I say, hey, like this pond is only so big, right? It's only so big. We're going to overfish this motherfucker at some point. We're just going to overfish it. And if we don't grow the pond, the fish don't get bigger and we don't get more fish. It's just how it works. So we're overfished. Okay. We outgrew not just, the things that we offer, but we've sort of outgrown the audience in some ways. Then there's the frustrations of the lack of, and this is sort of a symptom of getting too big, too big, or a group getting too big, and with not everybody aligned the same way. And that's okay. Again, that's okay. We never expected 100% of the people 100% of the time to come in and participate or even agree with anything. We say some whacked out shit. We have some crazy theories. We have some crazy thoughts. We know we can annoy people, especially me, with those things. But in the end of the day, right, we started looking, we do it. Look, it wasn't to punk anybody, but we have tested the waters, right? We'll put out, hey, what do you guys think about this theory, and blah blah blah, and it's more philosophical and more deep, right? And it gets you thinking, and maybe it's a different way to look at it than through the lens we learned to look through on television. And it just crickets for the most part. Now, back in the day, it was a little bit different. But again, I have to question, did we not see it? Did they not see it because this thing's so diluted now? Did they not see it because they're just doing the drive-by and we're just a checkbox? don't know, right? At the end of the day, the reasons don't matter. What matters is the symptom. So then we put out a post, who would you rather go on a blind date with? Zach Baggins or whoever the fuck. And that gets hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reactions, right? That's not us. That's not our speed. I mean, it's fun. It's fun once in a while. But if that's the temperature and if that's the gauge, then this isn't for us either, right? And that's why we started school. So school, right, is where we have bigger, deeper, more meaningful conversations, which are the things that fulfill us. Okay. That's just what it is. I can only learn about what you think an orb is 200,000 fucking times. I'm over it. We know. We know. We know some people believe in Annabelle. We know some people don't. We get it. We know that this museum is okay and this museum is not okay. We get it. How many times are we going to talk about the same old shit? So we moved on, right? We moved on. We created school, and over there we're having some really cool conversations, deep conversations, and more importantly, we got to free up some time so we can focus on these things. Let me read Trev real quick. 7K people on the group page is people with different intentions, some positive, some negative. Yeah, there's some, we know they're here. We know who they are. They think they're funny. I don't care. People with the right intentions will find school, and they will. So, one guy I talked to today was like, dude, like you're walking. I'm not walking away. We're not walking away. Right? School is just, it's Adam. School is, it's an app or it's a website, just like Facebook. And it's just so much more controlled and so much easier to navigate. And the interactions are really, really, really cool. Heidi's over there. This isn't a money grab thing. This isn't anything other than us wanting to have bigger, deeper conversations. And at the end of the day, what we realized is that we ended up working for 7,000 people, and that's not how this works. Okay. Some of them we don't mind, right? Some of them are fine. But the only time we work for you really is when there is a currency exchange, whether that's real cash or that's the sharing and the promoting and the cross promotion like we did for everybody else. That part bugs the shit out of me, and it's why I shut down the paranormal why I kind of convinced, I didn't shut it down. I convinced Sarah that program, because I watched her stress. I watched her put in the extra hours, and I would go to people's pages and I would be like, oh, damn, it shared a goddamn thing of ours in, I don't know, a year. Adam, it'll be posted up. So you go to the main Get Haunted page. It's all over there. That's the other part. Like I feel like people think Facebook is the end all be all. And it's a great platform, especially if you like being annoyed. SKOOL. I'll drop the link up here in a moment, but hang tight. So, but there too. I mean, there were nights I pulled over on the side of the road to reconnect people, but we couldn't get a share back. Couldn't get anything. So again, I'm not bitching about people. What I'm bitching about is what happens, and it is draining and it is exhausting, and it makes you go, why am I even doing this? Right. So that's what is behind this. And it's been a discussion for a long time now. It's nothing new. It has nothing to do with the crazy people out there who can't seem to act like adults. It has everything to do with keeping our shit together, being able to focus our energy on things that actually bring something. I don't want to talk about Zach Baggins or blind dates. We want to talk about the real things. We want to talk about what's in your head, what your experiences are. And I struggled with this a lot last night and then a little bit today. And I pulled over at Wawa and I got out of the car. I was walking. I was wearing this shirt, and there's a guy standing there. He's like, "Oh, I got a ghost story for you." I posted his picture up on the Get Haunted main page. His name's Kendall. as I was walking in, I heard him go boo, right? So I thought he was going to be a clown when I came out. So I came out. He's like, "You ready? You want to hear my story?" I was like, "I do. I really do." So it started out as a joke. He told me a ghost joke that I can't even tell here. Um, but then we got into it. You know, really cool guy. His mom's Apollo, my own Bay priestess. Stacy, I talked about you for a minute. He's talking about energy and dimensional shifts, and I'm like, fucking A, I am standing here. And he's like, well, he couldn't believe. He's like, what do you do? So I told him what we do and told him about it. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I didn't even know. The dude was lit up, excited. He's like craving conversation. Like, can I take your number? My mom, I'm gonna have my mom. She would love to talk to you. That's what it was about, man. That's exactly why we started this. And we miss that. And that's what we get over there at school. And that's what we get at our events. And that's what we get at the inner eye and the veil and the things that we do. It's not about this NASCAR pit stop area called the Get Haunted Network public page. It's just not that. So we're not closing up shop. Yes, my banner was clickbait. Because I do like watching the numbers go up and then down the minute they realize we're still here. Um, but that's what it is. So, I encourage people, right, to as we move forward. And yes, that's really what it is. I feel like this, the network page, the public page has devolved in some ways. It's hard to keep your motivation levels up, you know. And I watched it, and Sarah's put aside so many things in her personal life, just to make sure everybody on these pages was happy and that we were growing, and she knows if she took a week off just to be with family, her numbers fucking plummeted, and I'm over here, like a baboon typing on the keyboard trying to come up with fun things to talk about. Just can't do it. We just can't do it that way. Um, and it's not a punishment. I understand. There are teams that came on with Get Haunted and friggin' blew up, and now they're off doing their own thing, right? And that's cool. I'm happy for them. There's some things I'll bitch about, but that's for private conversations. Um, that's always been our intent, right? But we can't grow, and even StreamYard's like $6 million a month. I don't even know how we still have it. Oh, Heidi, but that's not it, right? Sarah and I have said this 100 times. Like, we know you're there. We'd rather sit with 60 some odd people that want to be there and are part of the conversation, like you and Bill and all this, all the folks over there that really get into it. Um, we'd rather sit there, with 60 something, 70, whatever it ends up being, than 7,000 people that aren't participating. So that's what this is about, kids. It's not about drama. It's not about people. It's about the people that have given a lot for a lot of years. And that's primarily Sarah Jane when it comes to, this network and growing it and connecting with people and making people feel good and right and heard, right? She's been skipped over more than anybody I've seen in the paranormal. I'm not going to turn this into a rant show, but that's what we're going to do at some point. So eventually you just go, you know what? Like, I've been tending to this garden for 4 years now. She and I, ain't shit coming out of it. It's time to go tend to this one where, look, there's things blossoming. There's some really cool things happening. So that's all. We're not shutting down shop. We're not taking people's voices away. We are removing people's ability to just randomly drop dumb shit on our pages because you can't really do that over on the main page. But we'll find a way. If there's people that really want to partner and become, you know, uh, you know, work together and be collab. I mean, they got to do a little sharing too. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. There's nothing stopping us. But what you're not going to see is, 6,000 YouTube videos from, people in all different countries, sometimes in languages most of us don't even understand. Um, you're going to see a more focused, a more dedicated, a more coherent, right? Because we do get loopy after wine and trying to manage 6 different pages. Um, you're going to see a lot more from extreme ticketing, because that, my friends, is a very cool platform that's underutilized, underrepresented. Um, and you can do a lot of things over there, even if you don't sell tickets. You can do your auctions. If you make crafts, there's a lot of cool things you can do. See, we got a new member. Welcome, Adam. Um, that's what it's about. I literally, like, I had messages like, dude, like, you can reach out to the. No, there's nobody to reach out to. Um, we already reached out to everybody that we need to. And we reached out to ourselves this time. And for years, Sarah especially has put the community first. I will say this, and they haven't done that for her. Okay. Um, so that little, the stray cats are done. We're out of milk, people. We're out of milk. Those that want to work with us know how to work with us. Those that want to, um, oh, you want my monkey? Everybody wants that monkey. He's right here. Um, Nothing's going away except, the ability to drop random dumb shit on our pages, and that is it. Everything else remains the same. School is just a different website, different URL, and it's a lot more organized and fun. And there's conversation, and our hangouts aren't Rob and Sarah. It's Rob. Everybody's up on screen. It's like a giant Zoom session. We want to be with you. We want to talk to you. We want to see you. So that's what this is, guys. There's nothing more. You don't need to read into it. You don't need to guess at it. Rob's fine. Sarah's fine. Yeah, I'm going to get milk. I'm sure people will turn it into a story. Nobody chased us anywhere. We're just doing what's right for us, and it's a plan that's been in place for a little bit now. Sadly, that poll, 84%, really was an eye opener for me. It makes me truly, truly sad for the community as a whole, that people don't feel like comfortable talking about normal things anymore. We got to fix that, and it's time to take it back. School's a great place to start, right? Because you didn't listen. Our courses over there, especially Sarah's, really dive deep into these type of things. What happens? What are interpersonal relationships inside of a team like? Yeah, look, I see you're gonna get me going, Sarah. This is all right. We're gonna be honest. If Sarah was on right now, this, like, we kind of fuel each other. We'd probably be saying things that happen. But yes, people feel scared. People are uneasy to actually speak out and talk and share an experience. Like 84%. That broke my heart, because I really thought the network was fostering that. But then as I rolled back, and when we looked at interaction, we see when it dropped off. We can see it. That doesn't happen at school. That much I promise you. Because, by the way, if you're apprehensive school, like, yes, you could probably create a fake account to get in there. It's a lot harder. Just trust me. That's all I'm going to say about that. And yeah, so social media being the fake world that it is, right, has absolutely corrupted and poisoned people's minds. It's made people like absolutely absurd. I didn't want to turn this into a bitch show, but it is now. The page is going away tonight. People begged us not to. It's going. This is happening. We're pausing. I'm pausing it. There's a pause button. The pause is there. Will it come back? Probably not, but I'm not deleting it, right? We're gonna let it sit. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow everybody will wake up with a fucking, you know, pet unicorn, a pet dragon, smiling, sunshine blowing out their ass. I don't know. And people want to start talking about the paranormal again instead of some Sarah wants it deleted. It's being paused. All right. I met you. I'm meeting you halfway, my friend. You have access. You delete it. I don't care. Whatever. I'm not saying we're bringing it back. Yeah, start a new page. Do it. So that's it. Please don't worry. There's no Rob and Sarah folding up shop. If anything, we're back in 2027 and through the rest of this year a bit stronger, more focused, with more energy, more drive, some really cool plans. We have some really neat things coming. And we're trying to differentiate ourselves from a very muddy and oversaturated and kind of boring field. And look, man, I'll even admit it, at this point, all the AI banners are starting to look pretty similar, but at least mine are funny, most of them. So that's the story. As Sarah said, and I'll read her. I'm going to read her post to you because I did love the words in there, and they are absolutely accurate. So I'm going to read it to y'all because I know you love my voice. A new chapter for Get Haunted. After a great deal of thought, we have made a decision to discontinue the Get Haunted Network public page on Facebook. This page will remain active until midnight, July 31st, after which it will be closed. Over the years, the community has become a home to thousands of conversations, questions, shared experiences, friendships, and memories. Whether you've been here since the beginning or joined us more recently, thank you for being part of the journey. As Get Haunted continues to evolve, we've made the decision to focus our time and energy on the areas that we can create the greatest impact. So rather than trying to maintain conversations across multiple social media platforms, we're investing in spaces that allow us to build stronger experiences and a more intentional community. So what does this mean? Well, the Get Haunted Network public page will be retired. Get Haunted is not going anywhere. Our official Get Haunted Facebook page and Instagram will remain active and will become our primary announcement platforms. We did it today. It's already working, right? We see everybody's over there. Nobody's lost wandering around the desolate halls of Facebook trying to find us, okay? So that's where you're going to find updates on extreme ticketing, on Get Haunted University, on merchandise, and so on and so forth, right? And some of our good friends, okay? Because we're not knocking everybody out. We're not. The one thing I heard today is, well, you're putting it behind a paywall and you're making it pay to play. No, we're not. Portions of it are, and I think after 5 fucking years, we deserve to make a few bucks back because, again, we're not philanthropists. But hey, it's paranormal. Nobody's supposed to pay for anything, right? So if you're looking for meaningful paranormal conversations, Get Haunted University on School is where we'll be investing our energy moving forward. That's where curiosity, education, and community will continue to grow together. That decision wasn't made. I'm sorry, that this decision wasn't made because we're stepping away from Get Haunted. It was made because we're choosing to focus on what Get Haunted has always been about. And that's creating meaningful experiences, asking better questions, and building genuine community. So thank you for every comment, for every shared story, for every show you watched, every event you attended, and every conversation you've been a part of along the way. This page may be closing, but it isn't goodbye. It's simply the beginning of the next chapter, and we hope that you'll enjoy and continue the journey with us. I added a word or two. Rob and Sarah from Get Haunted and Paranormally Blonde. So let's do this, okay? Come join us. Come over there to school. I think you'll be surprised. Um, it's a platform not unlike Facebook, but there's gamification, right? If you interact and you participate, you get points, and those points unlock things for you. It's really friggin' cool. Um, so yeah, okay. Everyone chill. Everyone calm down. We're still here. I didn't know we were that important to 3 people. But yeah, so I'm gonna go finish my wine. I'm gonna go watch a little. I don't know. I might watch a war movie tonight. I don't know. I feel like watching a war movie, and then right around midnight, I'm gonna get out my latex gloves. I'm gonna pull up the pause button, and I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it hard. Um, and I'm gonna read Adam's last comment here, and then Rob is outie. Adam Sherfy. When I started doing ghost hunting about 5 years ago now, I was so scared. I did not know what I was stepping in. But everybody in this community, especially Get Haunted, and everybody I met up to Rock Island has been so nice, and I was not expecting that from a ghost hunting community. At all. Is everybody thinks people who do it is bad, and the reality is people are nice. We appreciate every single one of you accepting me into this community and more. Well, we love you, man. And look, the truth is, the majority of the people are nice and they are accepting. There's some, like any other community, there's some people out there that are not so nice. But that's why you hang out with us, right? We'll keep you away from them. We'll point them out to you. We'll get different color lasers and we'll put them on people so that we know who they are. All right, we out. That's it. Thank you. I had my DiGiorno. I burned the shit out of my mouth just before this, so I'd like to just go get an ice cube, maybe smoke a cigarette, finish my wine, watch a war movie, and but yes, from the bottom of my heart, I know from Sarah's heart. So hearts, she has 2. Sarah's words is what I meant to say. That she truly means all of those things, and I echo them. Thank you, Sarah, for all of the hard work you put into building that page, all of our pages, and that's exactly why it's being paused. I can't delete your years of hard work or refuse to do it. I don't have it in me quite yet. Just means you got to go work harder and get more people at school. Okay, then we can delete it. But we love you guys. We're not going anywhere. We're just as accessible. Come find us on school. Stephen Commits, we love you, man. All right, my friends. This is it. The last Get Haunted Network public page live stream. And you happen to get it with the most handsome guy in the paranormal. The monkey. Love you.